So thank you so much everybody for coming today. It's really cold, I know, but at least it's not raining. We really need to keep demonstrating about this because just this last week, Kevin Rudd's announced that they'll be giving over $60 million to try and improve PR, basically, of the live export industry. So that money is basically going to Meat and Livestock Australia, MLA, to basically run workshops to improve PR. So that's a complete waste of money. 1.8 million is going towards supposedly going to animal welfare. That money is also going to the MLA. The same people who looked at that abattoir in Egypt where that poor bull was, Jacob, the Brahman bull, was tortured and killed. They looked at that abattoir and said those conditions are acceptable. So this is the same people that's going to be training people in animal welfare. These are the same people who have never ever reported any incidents of cruelty. It's only ever been Animals Australia and animal activists that have done that. And all of this money allocation was done without consultation with either Animals Australia or the RSPCA, the two biggest animal welfare organisations in Australia. So it's all in-house and useless and a waste of money, and it's our money too. That's taxpayer dollars. And I resent that. My friend Faye Atkins gave me a fantastic quote during the week. It's actually from the wife of a cattleman in WA, and her name's Kate Fitzhenry. She wrote this in the Weekly Times on June 27th. This is what she said. This is from a cattleman's wife. The live export industry has allowed animals to suffer for over 30 years. The trade should have been phased out years ago. It is apparent the misery of animals is of no concern to the industry or to those with vested interests. It is typical propaganda on the part of the live export trade to blame everyone but themselves. It is ironic to hear the proponents of this industry speak about the welfare of cattle when the same people send their cattle off to places where there are no animal welfare standards. I do not believe stabbing out the eyes of bellowing cattle, cutting their tendons, cutting their throats without stunning, and stringing them up while they slowly bleed to death is a good example of good animal welfare. The live export trade should have been stopped altogether. There is no excuse for cruelty. I am not an animal activist, I am a cattle producer's wife, and we are disgusted by the live export industry. Kate Fitzhenry. We've also heard in the last week that there's going to be 25,000 extra cattle sent to Indonesia soon. These are being rushed through. They've lifted all the weight restrictions and so on because they want to slaughter them for Ramadan coming up. So Kevin Rudd is really showing his true colours as far as the live export industry goes. And believe me, the Coalition are no better. They want to apologise and they want to expand the trade. So there's not really a lot of choice there. So whoever you do vote in the lower house, if the Animal Justice Party are in the centre, it's going to be to the advantage of the animals. So just keep that in mind on polling day. We have a very special guest with us here today. Two very special guests, I should say. Cherie, Imlah, and her little dog Belle. Cherie's 80 years old. She's a pensioner and she's been travelling around Australia. She started off in the Northern Rivers in New South Wales, a little town called Bonalbo. She's travelled around 7,000 kilometres so far. She's been to Sydney, Canberra, Adelaide, she's been over to Fremantle, and now she's back in Adelaide again. And she's doing this in her own car. Just her and her little dog, the two of them together, raising awareness about the live export trade and getting letters signed that she will be delivering in Brisbane to Kevin Rudd's office. So Cherie's doing an absolutely amazing job, but she will have totaled over 9,000 kilometres when she gets home. Cherie's going to have a few words today, and we're really proud to have her here. She's an absolute inspiration. And if you want to help Cherie in her journeys, we've got a little collection box over there, because Cherie needs help with petrol, and she's had some car issues, and she also needs to pay a few vet bills, because Belle's not 100% today. So if you'd like to donate, over there. Thanks, Cherie.
Hello everyone. Kind, humane, sensitive people who care about animals. I took this journey from northern New South Wales to Fremantle and return because the people in Fremantle have been struggling against live exports. I was talking to someone there who has been doing it for 15 years, and it was really good to meet with them and feel, and they really appreciated it, because they felt, well, it's not just us, it's other people in Australia who are concerned about this horror that's going on. I know you've had incidents here last year with a ship and the sheep coming in, and well, the boat was becalmed or something wrong with it, and the sheep were brought back. I've been watching all these kinds of things, and standing on street corners, first of all getting petitions signed for Animals Australia, and then when the bill was not voted on, or was voted on against, only one person voted for the bill to ban live exports, and I thought that was pretty disgusting. So I did a trip to Canberra with my grandson and stopped at 7 towns on the way collecting signatures on letters to give to Julia Gillard. Went to the Parliament and presented the letters. I got about 200 on the trip. Of course, we were going to a different town every day, so I was standing on street corners in the morning and driving in the afternoon, packing and unpacking. But anyway, my grandson, he wanted to see Julia, so she wasn't there in the morning, so we went to the question time. And I got so disgusted with what was going on that I got up and told them what I thought of them. So I was ejected, which was good. And the media got onto me outside, and I don't know what happened, because we had to leave the next morning and go home. But at least people in Parliament heard, all the people around the galleries and outside, and I don't think Julia was very happy being told that they were disgusting individuals. But anyway, that's just one thing. And then you just wonder what you can do, because we don't have the ships coming in up our way. And but every time there's something terrible happens, I have a rally, and we had a midnight vigil and things like that. And I thought, well, what else can I do? And I thought, right, my 80th year, I'm going to do something worthwhile. And I do think it was worthwhile. And the letters will be delivered to Kevin Rudd's office early August, after I get home. And we're hoping, there'll be some sort of publicity and something going on outside his office when the letters are delivered. So please sign the letters. They'll be posted to me, and I'll be presenting them personally. I just wanted to mention a couple of things that are in my letter, and I do my research. I'd like to say this thing about them talking about 1% of animals die on these boats. The politicians and the cattle in animal industry, they all like to talk about, oh, it's only 1%. They forget that it's thousands of animals. Well, they don't forget. They want to ignore and want you to believe that it's only a few animals. Well, it's not. It's thousands of animals every year. Nearly 20,000 sheep last year. It just doesn't wash, this 1% business. They say, oh, well, on the farm, 1% of animals die. But on the farm, they die of natural causes or accidents or something. They don't die by human intervention like they do on these ships. And in my letter, I've said that of those that die on the ships, half of them, nearly half of them, 47%, die from starvation. They call it inanition or failure to eat. But it's starvation. Nearly half of them on the ships, so they're starving on these ships even before they get to their terrible destination for weeks. It's just so appalling. You know, it just doesn't wash this 1% business. And a livestock fellow, you know, some importance rang me trying to convince me he knew everything. He hadn't even read the 2011 report, which said that the feed was full of rubbish. It wasn't even worth eating. It was just saving money. He hadn't read the report. He didn't know anything about the trade from here he'd never been on a ship between here and the Middle East. He'd been up in the Middle East. So he knew little or nothing. So I want to say I'm not against the farmers. I think we should all be demanding that the industry should remain in Australia, where it is more humane, and we should be sending chilled beef overseas, and more abattoirs opening again. A lot of people have lost their jobs in the past, and I know they're building one in Darwin, but they need to build more and provide more jobs here and send chilled beef. If the New Zealanders can do it, why can't we? I mean, New Zealand doesn't have our resources. And, you know, it's money, money, money. More, more, more. But really, chilled beef is probably a better economic issue. A fellow said to me the other day, it's really old-fashioned, isn't it, sending these animals overseas? Well, there's one way you could look at it. And the 2011 report, after all that was said about the industry and all the dreadful things that were going on, decided they needed more research. Now, a 1985 report said that it should be banned. It should be phased out. 1985, and they're still asking for reports and research. They know what's going on, but they just don't want to know, if you know what I mean. I'll sort of finish there, but I want to read a poem. Some of you have heard it, but probably some of you haven't. It's called The Voice of the Voiceless. I am the voice of the voiceless. Through me the dumb shall speak, till the deaf world's ear be made to hear the wrongs of the wordless weak. From street, from cage, from kennel, from stable and zoo, the wail of my tortured king proclaims the sin of the mighty against the frail. Oh, shame on the mothers of mortals who have not stooped to teach of the sorrow that lies in dear dumb eyes, the sorrow that has no speech. I am my mother's keeper. I shall fight his fight and speak the word for beast and bird, till the world shall set things right. And this was done, written by Ella Wheeler Wilcox, who was born in 1850, an American. And you can get it off the RSPCA newsletter. Thank you.